Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're benchmarking Indiana Jones, The Great Circle on PC, running up an overclocked MSI Vanguard RTX 5090 graphics card, and Ryzen 9 9950X 3D CPU. So finally I'm able to test out the path tracing features because I now have a video card with enough video RAM. So we are running a resolution of 3840 by 2160 on my 4K 154Hz display. Frame per second limit set to 1000. We do have HDR. You have to wait 2 or 3 days for the HDR to process on YouTube. Chromatic aberration is turned off. Film grain is turned off. And all the advanced graphics settings are all Supreme Ultra settings. All these settings here are fully maxed out. And then, of course, we do have the full ray traced, path traced features enabled, including ray traced shadows, reflections, global illumination, and all these settings here are fully maxed out. So we are running DLSS quality mode. We will also try native 4K, which is probably not going to run very good, but we'll try it out anyways. And we'll also try frame generation very briefly, see how it runs at 4K with DLSS quality mode. And we'll also test 1440p, 1080p native resolutions, and we'll see how everything runs in place. So I just figured we'd finally benchmark this and finally test it out the highest possible graphics settings. And let's go ahead and play. This is the introduction level, which was always known to be one of the heavier scenes. And I didn't progress that far in this title, so I figured I'd just show this area because it's the introduction of the game and it's got a nice jungle vibe with a lot of forest details and vegetation. And I'll kind of give my opinion on if the path tracing is a noticeable increase over the standard ray trace features without path tracing. Okay, so 4K native, averaging 63 FPS, 1% low sitting at 55, max FPS at 69. I think there's going to be a cutscene here, so I'm going to go ahead and get past this scene here. And we'll get to the next area of the jungle here. And I'm going to skip all the cutscenes because I just want to focus on gameplay. And like I said, the cutscenes will affect the FPS, so go ahead and reset the afterburner. And let's briefly test out 4K native, which is something I wouldn't recommend, but I wanted to just see what it will run at, just out of curiosity here. Alright, so we'll set this to DLA, which will be native 4K. Reset the afterburner. And we're maintaining over 30 FPS. I mean, not like really high FPS, but it is playable. And we're pulling 21 gigabytes of VRAM, 576 watts of power. And then just very quickly, briefly, I know 8K is not going to run very good, but let's just see, just out of curiosity's sake. Let's see what happens when we enable 8K resolution here. Go ahead and apply that. And did that apply? For some reason I thought the FPS would be lower than that. Okay, yeah, it didn't apply. Apply video changes, there we go. I don't expect this to run very good, but let's just see if it even is doable. 32 gigabytes of VRAM, that's insane. Wow. Yeah, it's not gonna run though. Maybe with DLSS quality mode it may have been doable, but let's see if I can get back out of here. Get back to 4K. But yeah, that's not possible, but maybe with 4K with DLSS quality mode, maybe it'll be possible. So let's try enabling DLSS quality mode really quick. Sorry to delay the game here for a little bit. So DLSS quality mode. And then let's try 8K. Let's just see what happens out of curiosity's sake. But that was insane. I've never seen a video title use 32 gigabytes of VRAM. Looks like we're still hitting that barrier though, as you can see, 31 gigabytes of VRAM there. So yeah, it's not going to be doable, guys. I don't think 8K will ever be possible unless you probably run like performance mode maybe. But hey, I figured I'd at least try, right? Okay, so now let's enable frame generation. Just gonna use 2x, nothing too crazy. With 4K DLSS quality, and sorry about that delay. I know that kind of really ruined the vibe there. We reset the after one more time there because we got those low 1% lows kind of low. Yeah, I'm not sure why sometimes these 1% lows are kind of low. I guess maybe it's just the title or just getting some kind of spikes or what, but I've been seeing that in several games so far. So with DLSS quality mode and frame generation, we're averaging 109 FPS, 1% low staying at 49, max FPS at 119. Alright, let's turn off frame generation and let's go to native resolution. It's funny, whenever I'm changing those DLSS settings, I see the light, one of my lights in my room kind of flickers. It just shows you how much power this card is pulling. It's insane. And where was the DLSS? Sorry guys, it's a little bit of a fight here to change everything. Okay, so 1440p, here we go. And I'll be quite honest with you guys, this path tracing, I'm not seeing a significant difference between having it on and just doing standard ray tracing. Like, I really don't think it's worth all the extra power needed to run it, but that's just my opinion. I mean, honestly, everything still looks just fine if you ask me. So for 1440p, averaging 65 FPS, 1% low staying at 52, max FPS at 71. And then very briefly, I'm going to test out DLSS quality mode at 1440p, and then we'll go to the 1080p native here. Alright, so let's put DLSS quality mode. Reset the afterburner. And that seems to put us at an average of 98 FPS, 1% low staying at 74, max FPS at 107. Alright, now we'll go to 1080p. And then in just a moment, once my monitor responds here, we'll turn off DLSS quality mode. So DLA, reset the afterburner. One more time. There's a cutscene here, so let me go ahead and get through this, and then we'll reset the afterburner again. Okay, reset the afterburner. So 1080p averaging 98 FPS, 1% low staying at 72, max FPS at 102. Okay, so now let me go back to 4K here, and I'm going to disable the path tracing feature. So let's go ahead and turn this all off. So we'll just use standard ray tracing. Accept settings. And let me make sure my resolution gets changed here to 4K native. Reset the afterburner. And that just goes to show you, when you turn off that path tracing, you get so much more performance in terms of FPS on the 1590. So we're at 122 FPS average here without path tracing. And I think it still looks beautiful, if anything. I could hardly... Maybe there's certain areas that maybe look a little bit less graphically enhanced, but I think it still looks very good. And I think we all appreciate the higher FPS, you know? Okay, so we're gonna have some more cutscenes here, so we'll try to skip through this really quickly.
You first, senor.
Reset the afterburner again. So 4K native without path tracing, 146 FPS average, 1% low state at 121, max FPS at 157. We're gonna have another cutscene here, of course, so we'll skip through this.
You said he was very good.
It was. Just not good enough.
Okay, so now let's go down to 1440p, apply that graphics resolution,
Are you?
reset the afterburner.
I guess we'll find out.
Too far to jump. What the? Crazy, senor.
That did it.
I'm gonna reset it one more time here.
That's it.
So 1440p native, averaging 198 FPS, 1% low, sitting at 142, max FPS is 221. Go ahead and apply this 1080p native resolution here. Reset the afterburner. Yeah, I'm not sure what's at the 1% lows. They seem to be lower than they should be, I would say. I'm going to reset it one more time.
Bad feeling about this one.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That's how it's done.
Okay, now pretty soon we're going to have a cutscene, so I'm going to kind of see where 1080p puts us. Average of 166, 1% low staying at 64. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with those 1% lows. It's kind of low, I think. Max FPS at 183. Let's go back to 4K here. One moment for monitor to respond, and then we'll probably finish off the video here at DLSS quality mode without path tracing to see what kind of FPS. I know I didn't really test as many settings as I did with the path tracing features, but we'll go ahead and just finish off the video here. 4K DLSS quality mode without path tracing.
Give me the whip.
No be the idol.
Give me the whip.
Indiana!
Eric.
So 4K DLSS quality mode, averaging 148 FPS.
I learned to hit you in the last 10 years.
Oh shit, I wasn't running. Can't believe it. Wasn't paying
Eric.
attention.
Sullivan, Eric.
Man, I do too.
Average FPS at 182, 1% low, so you got
I learned to
80,
hit you in the last 10 years. Well, where the hell were you?
and max FPS at 194.
Damn it, don't you leave me down here by myself!
So that brings you Indiana Jones, A Great Circle. A few different options in terms of DLSS and native resolutions along with path tracing and without path tracing. If you did enjoy the video, do give this video a like. If you want to see more content like this, more RTX 5090 gaming benchmarks along with my Ryzen 9 9950X 3D CPU, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for another video presentation soon enough, and that brings you to the end of Jones, a great circle. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.